Good morning, traders. Happy Monday. What's going on? Hey, Paul, what's up? Interesting price action overnight, you guys. The game plan that I laid out is definitely not not playing out. I was not expecting it to pump back up to near all-time highs. Good morning, Renzo. So I did, since we're kind of up near all-time highs, it's hard to find like support and resistance levels. So I did draw up the session volume profile from overnight, just the fixed range starting from last night. And we're kind of chopping around the point of control from the overnight session for now. We do have a tiny bit of support here. Obviously bullish, but it was kind of a slow grind up last night. So I would love to see some sort of retracement. So kind of looking for longs at this point, until proven otherwise, really. So we have a good spot here at VWAP that might be a decent pullback, and there's also a high volume node that could serve as support right there. Another decent spot would be, this is a giant pullback. I'd be honestly afraid to take a long if it pulls all the way back here. But this is Asia low, value area high, kind of a regular trading hours gap fill. If it comes down here, I could see us at least getting some sort of bounce. I don't know if that means it'll continue up to all-time highs if it pulls all the way down there, because that's a 150 point drop. But today, to be honest, I think I'm just kind of looking for scalps. I'm not looking for huge moves because there's not really a good trade setup in my opinion. So kind of just looking for pullbacks to enter long and grab a couple points today. So these are the two areas of interest that I might be looking at. Not a ton of resistance overhead, so I'm not really interested in looking for shorts right now. Our all-time high is right here, and there was lots of chop in this area. So, there technically is quite a bit of resistance up here if it comes up to 25K. Little bit of a tricky day today, you guys. So, gonna see what we get here in the open. We're starting to get a little pullback pre-market, 8 minutes until the open. But like I said, it's kind of just chopping around that point of control from the start of the overnight session. Creating a pretty decent high volume node right there. So if it holds below this level, I could see us maybe coming down, breaking below this level, retesting it, and then continuing, something like that. We will see what we get. Jesta, Mon, good morning. Maverick, good morning. While we're waiting for everything to open up, if you guys haven't already, go hit that like button. It helps me out. I appreciate it. And then if you haven't already, join the Discord. There's a link in the description. I'll go ahead and put it in the chat too. But we've already been talking a bunch this morning about ideas with trading and the open and levels we're watching and all that stuff. So I'm not always able to live stream, obviously, so getting support outside of the live streams is helpful too. Also, inside the Discord, another benefit to being in there is I'm doing a giveaway just for Discord members who I'm doing a Lucid giveaway, so a 50K Lucid test account. Anyone who purchases an account until the end of the month, send me a screenshot using code Krista, and I'm entering you guys into a drawing. So far, we have like eight accounts that have been purchased, so your chances of winning are pretty good. Awesome, Mon. I'm glad you found that journaling video helpful. Yeah, journaling has been huge. And being consistent with journaling, so you actually have some of that data and the trends that I was talking about in the video. Definitely helps you become a more confident trader when you have that data to like back up your trades. That's a big question that I get pretty often, is like, how do you have the confidence to sit through that chop and like sit in that trade forever? I would have gotten out a long time ago. And I think a lot of it is journaling and knowing with confidence that like this is a good setup. Market's open in about 5 minutes. I don't love the price action, you guys. We are getting a pullback, which is nice. I feel like it's possibly trying to trap. Could be trapping longs, could be trapping shorts. The last couple of hours, it's kind of just been stuck in this range. How long have you been trading? I'm actually still fairly new to trading. It's right at a year. I started my first prop firm a year ago. Yeah, Lucid doesn't have TradeDay Ninja Trader yet. It's coming soon though. They've already like signed a contract with them and they're already in the development phase. It's just a matter of finishing things up. So yeah, it'll be soon. This purple line I have right here, this is the anchored VWAP from the start of the London session. So it's coming down to there right now. We also have this high volume node sticking out, but the London session doesn't hold a whole lot of volume compared to New York, so it definitely could just blow through those levels for sure. Which it looks like it is. Definitely would have been a decent opportunity to take a short there. I just don't like entering a new position that close to market open. Hindsight's always 20/20. But it did break below that point of control from the overnight session, and we're below that high volume node, so I erased my little red squiggly lines from earlier, but my thought was if we break below it, maybe retest something like that. But again, volume from overnight is nothing compared to the New York session, so New York could break through all these levels for sure. Good morning, G-Man. No, I don't trade other indices. I do watch gold in the Asia session every once in a while, but still kind of taking tiny positions on that and learning it. Mostly just stick with NQ. Trying to train my eyes with one chart. Maybe in a couple years when I feel like I'm an expert with NQ, then I'll add others. But for now, just one. I'm going to become part of the gold gang. G-Man's trying to convert me. I'm learning. There's times at the open at, I think it's 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. There's times where it almost just looks, dare I say, easy. Like it just trends clean. But then there's times where it totally messes me up. All right, market's open, you guys. We got that little pullback pre-market. Let's see if that continues. Kind of watching to see what it does here at VWAP. If that doesn't hold, then next area of interest for me would kind of be this level right here. There's lots of stuff going on here. Previous session value area high, Asia low, could be a liquidity grab, and then it's also a regular trading hours gap fill. Kind of up here in an unknown zone for me. So gonna see what we get. I think his Waffles, I think his first name actually starts with a G. But from now on, we're going to say that it stands for G. For gold, I mean. It stands for gold, for sure. We do have a no news Monday on our hands, too. Which is interesting because a lot of times that means low volume, choppiness, but we've had quite a bit of movement for a no news Monday. We have Fed speakers, and Trump is signing executive orders in about 45 minutes, so that could be a big deal. But no, like, red folder news, just lots of speakers. So we had that selling pressure a couple minutes before the open. It's coming back up to test that overnight point of control. Let's see if we get a rejection there. It's also the top of the VWAP standard deviation band. Might look at a short here if we start to reject from that level. Just a super small position since we're early in the open. I'll let you guys know if I enter. But having it be right at that point of control, if it starts to sell off from here, I might short. So far, the movement in the New York Open has been up, though. And, I mean, the trend all night has been up. So shorts would be the risky play, going against the trend. Pretty slow going in the open so far. Is this what our Monday is going to be like? Just choppy, slow, burning people's accounts, waiting for Trump's executive orders later? Well, we're definitely not getting that rejection that would have made me want to enter a short here. At least not yet. It's kind of a gross market open so far, you guys. Not too exciting. ES is weaker. Man, I'm still looking, still wanting to take a short. Mon, I just saw your question. I'm not a yoga coach. I used to own a gym and coached nutrition, did personal training, like studied kinesiology. That's who I am. That's my background. I don't own the gym anymore, but definitely still big in the health and wellness space. I work out a lot. Still do some, like, have people asking me to coach them on nutrition and stuff. I love it. Got tired of the actual gym ownership part, but still working out and eating right is a big part of my life. Look at this 1 minute chart, you guys. This is ugly. All right, I'm going to start drawing my levels. This is the anchored VWAP for the New York session. As of now, this is our 15-minute opening range high. That could change, though, because we still have several minutes left. And this... Nope, not that one. This is our low. Right there. Have I ever thought of adding a fitness and nutrition channel to the Discord? Honestly, I have. I have thought about it. Maybe I'll do that today. I like that idea. And I was thinking that it would be a cool channel to add, but I was like, well, maybe I'm just the only weirdo that would be interested in talking about working out. But I'm glad to hear that there's another person suggesting it. yeah, I'd be happy to, like, if there's any questions you guys have, I'd be happy to field questions and then just have people share their workouts and share their stuff they have going on. That'd be fun. We also have people suggesting that we add a food channel, especially over the weekends when people are like smoking their meats and all kinds of stuff. There'd be quite a few interested. All right, I'm on it. I'll do that today. Waffles is going to be all about the food channel. There you go, Yadira. Good job. Congrats. Takes consistency. I'm not taking a short, Min. I'm not. It's just an urge that I know is stupid, which is why I'm not entering. But the reason being, probably because I want to short it and I have that bias, but we're sitting right at the point of control from the overnight session. There's a high volume node there that it continues to reject. But I'm aware of the fact that it's way against the current trend. And just the open so far has not had any signs of sellers showing up. So maybe if we break below this 15-minute opening range and VWAP, if we break below this level, perhaps. But for now, it's just chopping around. It's ugly. Yeah, I know. I mean, it could be right, but I just don't have enough reason to enter a short. It's more just me feeling like I want to short, which is why I'm not doing it. This is really the only confluence, is overnight point of control, high volume node. And the only reason I drew this up is because we're at or near all-time highs and there's not really many levels to go off of. Definitely not looking like shorts are the play, though. So, glad I did not enter. Holy cow, you guys. Definitely not seeing any good trades so far. This is a weird open. That was a little liquidity grab of the previous London high. But again, we don't have much resistance overhead and the trend has been up all night. So taking a short and trying to guess the top is not smart. Might be a no trade day. Yeah, I'm with you, Min. Could be one of those days where we just don't take a trade on stream. Watch PA together. Momentum is definitely to the upside, but I don't like the idea of chasing this. I just feel like it's been a slow grind up a slow, like low volume grind up all night. So as soon as I enter a long, it's gonna dump on me. I do have this high volume node area marked off up here. It's not a great one just because we're at all-time highs. There's not much to go off of up here. But we have this one up here would be a little bit better. If it came up to 25K and rejected, that would be a better area to short from. So there's the, it took a second to load, but there's the high volume node. I could even move it up a little bit like that, really. So we have 24,950 as a possible area of resistance. And then if not, we have 25K. But for now, the trend is definitely up. Not really trying to guess a top. I would prefer some sort of pullback and find a way to enter long. But again, the slow grind up continues with no pullback. There you go, Maverick. Yeah, I think scalping is probably the way to go today. All right, our 15-minute opening range is set, and this actually is our top down here. That's the 15-minute opening range top. So let's see if we get a little pullback here. Yep, Scott, it broke outside, and now it's continuing. It's not coming back. Yeah, DF, I agree with that. I actually, to be transparent with you guys, I took a couple of losses last night trying to short the top stupidly. Yeah, I don't like these kind of days for sure. Man, yeah, that slow grind is continuing. It's not even coming back down to retest any levels. And for me, the risk to reward on entering this is not good. Stalling out a little bit here. Let's see if it does come back down to retest up here. How, Mama, are you talking about this choppiness right here? Yeah, that was a high volume node on the higher time frame. But again, there's not a ton of volume up here, so these levels don't have that much weight. Coming up to 24,950. It tapped it. Let's see if we do get a pullback from here. Come on, give us a chance to enter. Let's go. Nope, it's just going to continue up. Oh, man. $24,951. Yeah, it's getting a pullback from that level. Might be looking at taking a long if it comes down to that opening range high. It could even come down to this New York anchor VWAP. That might be a better spot to look for a pullback. Where are we at on our session volume profile? Point of control is all the way back down here. Yeah, Yadira, I definitely don't want to chase this. Looks like it might bounce without even coming back to any clean levels. It didn't even come back to opening range high. Jeez. Coffee is warm and ES is hotter. Haven't even looked. What is ES doing? ES did come back down to VWAP and is getting a little bounce there. Interesting. That might have been the better chart to be watching right there. Yeah, mostly focus on NQ. I watch gold sometimes overnight. And then I'll flip back and forth with the ES chart every once in a while, but pretty much don't take trades off of it. Too many things to be watching at the same time. BM, a pullback to 720 on NQ? Or are you talking about 720 on ES? Hope you're talking about ES, because that's a giant pullback on NQ. Okay, on ES, okay. NQ still rejecting this high volume node that I have. Again, I'm not putting a lot of weight on those just because we're at all-time highs. It doesn't have a whole lot of volume there. But it's also kind of a round number at 24,950. If we came back to this New York anchored VWAP level, I think I'd prefer taking a long there over the opening range high. We'll see if we get it. Kind of what that would look like. Stop loss. Man, stop loss really would need to go below this chop right here. It's a big stop loss. ES keeps rejecting that opening range high. Looks pretty choppy right now. It is holding above VWAP, but it's not breaking above that opening range high. We do have Trump signing executive orders in about 15 minutes, so I wonder if that has something to do with why this is so choppy. And then we have an orange folder event here in about a minute, pending home sales. That might not be that big of a market mover, though. I can't imagine that that would be a reason that there's so much chop right now. I'm guessing it's just a no news Monday kind of chop. Or waiting for Trump's orders. Could be that too. What is gold doing? Still just hanging around up at all-time highs. There's the pending home sales news. Didn't do much. The slow grind up continues. Still waiting on a pullback. Point of control just shifted up. Both of the VWAPs are looking pretty flat. Yeah, I didn't have it drawn from the 1 hour chart necessarily, but it is a high volume no that I had marked off. I don't love the idea of shorting this though. Could be an opportunity to have it pull back and then maybe enter a long. I'll see how it reacts at this level. I don't love price action, honestly, you guys. Don't love it at all. Does anyone know what the executive orders are about in 15 minutes? Curious to see what that's going to be and if it'll affect NQ at all. G-Man, did you take a short at that resistance level you were talking about? It's looking like it's rejecting, but not a whole lot of continuation down. Buyers are strong this morning. Well, now we're about to... Don't want to get stuck in the middle of that. Still just chopping. When am I going to go in? When I see a trade that is a good setup. Hasn't pulled back to any area of interest that I have. I feel like I'd be chasing if I entered along here. I was hoping for a pullback to the New York anchored VWAP, but it didn't even pull back to the opening range high officially. But yeah, to answer your question, I'll enter when I see a good trade. Haven't seen one yet. And with it being just a couple minutes away from when Trump is signing orders, might be smart to wait a couple minutes anyway. Good morning, Shiz. You didn't miss much. It's been ugly so far. You have to keep expectations low on Mondays. Yeah. Especially no news Mondays, which I feel like have been the trend for a while. There she goes. Never came back down to my level. The white line, that is a standard deviation band from VWAP. So we have executive orders in 5 minutes, and then we do have initial balance being set in about 20. At this rate, we might just have to wait for that. One good thing is the New York anchored VWAP is sitting right at the 15-minute opening range high, so there's some decent confluence for this level, having it be a bounce area. So we'll keep watching. Is ES still moving up? No. ES still isn't really breaking above that 15-minute opening range high either. Or I shouldn't say either. NQ is. I would say ES looks a little bit weaker. So far, this is our initial balance high. Still got some more time though. I don't watch YM that often. Oh, wow. YM had a big dump at the open. Interesting. But it's consolidating and chopping too. Yeah. Crap EPA for a Monday, you guys. Well, I mean, Mondays you can expect that. But just crap EPA for trading. Might just use this time to add some of those channels to the Discord while we're sitting here. Your mantra is not every day presents A+ setups. Yep, absolutely. I don't think this is just because it's a no news Monday. This chop, low volume, annoying PA, I think it has something to do with Trump and his executive orders. I think that's just making it worse. All right, new channels up. Come back to point of control. I want to see it pull back more if we're going to enter along, though. We got a fitness and nutrition channel on Discord now, you guys. A head and shoulders. You talking about just with the New York session right here? Or more like higher time frame? No, not higher time frame. I don't know about lower time frame patterns like that. Let's pull up financial juice, see if anything's coming through with Trump's stuff going on. Nothing so far. He's probably late. He's always late. All right, Waffles. Have a good day. All right, we're getting a pullback. Let's see what happens at this level. Considering it, take note, Marvel. There's decent confluence at that level. All right, I'm long at 925.25. Not gonna give it much room. Really only going to put the stop loss below that wick. So there's like a 9-point stop loss. Because if it goes below that, then I want to see it come back down to the session VWAP. Do I feel like I miss windows to enter most of the times? No, I wouldn't say most of the times. There's definitely missed trades. But I think the majority is, yeah, I'll miss some, but the amount of times that I have the patience and then I end up missing out on a loss are more. Like that outweighs the possible missed trades. I just put it on the 2-minute chart so I could see a little more clearly where to put my stop loss. But that was it. I'll take off some here at the high, the New York high, and then I'll leave some runners and see if it comes up to like 25K. Yeah, Chichimus, I don't know if you saw my little red dot that I had sitting there for like 30 minutes right here. Yeah, 15-minute opening range high and VWAP. And the fact that the New York anchored VWAP had moved outside of the opening range high gave me even more, I guess, confidence that that was a good trade or a good entry. And I waited for, I don't know, 30 seconds or so. I didn't wait for a ton of confirmation, but I waited to see that that level was going to hold. And then I didn't give it much room. You can see my entry versus the wick. It was only a 9-point stop loss. I'll take one off there, at least for now. If it really starts to reject that level, then I'll close it. But I do want to leave some runners. Moving my stop loss at least into profit a little bit. In case something crazy happens with Trump and executive orders and all of that stuff going on right now. I don't want to end up taking a loss with what's going on. What is all-time high right now? 25.27. I don't broadcast on Discord, no. No, we just chat in Discord. I know there is some sort of streaming software where it's possible to live stream on YouTube and in Discord at the same time. But I haven't looked into all that. And to be transparent, I know that's a paid software. So I'm not saying this is going to happen, but if I did something where it was live streamed in Discord, I would probably charge for it. Something super small, like a couple bucks a month, just to recap that software fee. Because it wouldn't make sense to pay for it when I could do it for free on YouTube and there's only a couple second delay. But that's down the road. I haven't even looked into it right now. Microsoft Teams, is that something that I could live stream on YouTube and Discord at the same time? I'll look into it. I'm using Streamlabs right now. It's a super simple software and there's no monthly fee for it. So that's why I use it. Thanks, Randy. I'll look into that. I'll make a note to check it out sometime this week. The 2-minute chart doesn't necessarily give you more VWAPs. It just kind of zooms in a little bit. I think it's important to zoom out to a higher time frame, and well, a 5-minute is not a high time frame for sure. But I like to watch price action on the 5-minute just because it keeps me out of the chop. But when I'm looking for like where to put my stop loss or my take profit, or like really dialing on a specific entry when I know I'm going to take the trade, I'll move to the 1 or the 2-minute. Randy Rogers, musician fan. Oh man, we got that decent momentum up, but it's not continuing. I'll trail my stop loss a little more in case this decides to get ugly and dump. At least I'll lock in something. Yeah, I don't know, Yadira. I'm not big on trading patterns like that, but that kind of looks like maybe your eyes are making something up because you're looking for a trade. I don't know. That doesn't look like a Head and Shoulders to me. Could be wrong, though. Initial balance is set, so this up here at 24,975 is officially the top now for the 60-minute initial balance. Let's see if it comes back up and retests it. That's kind of what I'm counting on for my profit target. And then if it does get up there, the question is, does it reject? And we should flip short from there, or is it going to continue? Yeah, Streamlabs. I don't have a giveaway on the live stream today. I'm doing a giveaway in my Discord, though. It's for a 50K Lucid test account. Anyone who purchases an account is entered into the giveaway. Multiple entries are allowed. Just send me a screenshot. Use code Krista, and I'll enter you into the drawing. That's what we're doing right now. Until the end of the week, so today and tomorrow, really. Hey, Ram, how's it going? Good morning. Still holding above that point of control level. Let's see if we get some continuation up. Oh, big winner. Hey, that is a win, because I'm guessing you came back with $21, but that could have included a couple of hours of entertainment too. So I look at that as free entertainment. That's actually how I look at it too, even when I lose. Like, let's say my gambling money was $100 budget, for example, but I spent 2 hours at the table and it lasted 2 hours and I had a bunch of fun, then okay, it's no different than like going to something where I would have paid $100 for a ticket for something, for some show or a basketball game or whatever. You just have to look at it as what you want to spend on your entertainment for the evening. All right, well, it's going to continue this chop. It is holding above point of control, which right now is sitting at about 941-ish. Zooming into the 1 minute. Where is it? If I'm on the 1 minute chart. Yep, 941. So my stop loss is right below that. I'm going to add, since so far it is holding above the point of control, doesn't make me risk anymore. Is anything showing up on Financial Juice yet about Trump's executive orders? I'm still not seeing anything. I haven't seen anything really on Financial Juice at all since the pending home sales 30 minutes ago. Just a slow, choppy day. We'll see how this position plays out, but I might call it a day if it ends up stopping me out. Really? Forex Factory has it at 12.15? They might be right, because I haven't seen anything on Trump, like news on it. Financial Juice says 10:15 Eastern. That's weird. Why didn't I get out at $137 profit earlier? Because that's not my trade. I don't trade based on dollars. I trade based on levels. And my target was the initial balance high. That's why I didn't get out there. I am trading with TradeDay, Cashley. I like TradeDay a lot. I like their rules. Like super simple, 5-day eval, $3,000 profit target, simple. And then after that, you pretty much have no handcuffs. Daily payouts, no consistency. Like, how can you go wrong with that? Yeah, I love TradeDay. Right now I'm trading my Lucid accounts because I actually locked up my TradeDay last night. I traded gold last night and got a win, so locked those up. But yeah, I do like TradeDay a lot. All right, breaking back below point of control. It never came back up to that initial balance high, but it did kind of reject from that area. Still just chopping in this range. Pretty ugly, you guys. It's holding that point of control and standard deviation. Thinking about re-entering my long, but trying to be patient. It is holding. All right. Re-entering the long. Gonna put my stop loss below that wick. We'll see what happens. I am doing the end of day on TradeDay. I'm not a fan of intraday at all. I think it's a dumb rule. So I did end of day. I know it's the more expensive account, but the rules are better. And if you compare it to other prop firms, it's right around $100-ish. I think it was like $115 for the 50K account. That's still a lot cheaper than most prop firms out there in terms of like the rules comparison, comparing apples to apples. So that's what I went with, was the end of day. So yeah, if you guys are looking for something that has daily payouts, it's very similar to like Take Profit Trader, which I know is a pretty well-known one. But I don't like Take Profit Trader because they don't have, as soon as you pass the eval, they put you in intraday drawdown, which I don't like at all. So TradeDay is similar rules with like no consistency, daily payouts, all that, but they keep you at end of day if that's the account you buy. And right now with code Krista, it's 30% off and no activation fee. So pretty good deal. I did a video on it a couple weeks ago too, if you guys are curious about the rules and all that. If that's helpful, check it out. Cashly, the limit sell bar, that is to take partial profits. So I have my runner up here to 25K, but that's kind of just, I'll see how price action plays out at initial balance high. But I'm at least going to take off one at IB high. And honestly, with how choppy it is, I should probably take off more. So taking off two if it gets here. That's what that is. And the way you do that, if you're wanting to do it, you just right click on the screen and then go to whatever it is, limit sell, limit buy, depending on your position. All right, gonna add this to my trading view so I can put it on my journal later. 946 is where I entered again. Only gonna give it to that wick for my stop loss. Yeah, you're welcome. Wonder if we're ever gonna get some continuation on this thing. We got 85 people watching. We have 38 likes on the stream. What's up with that? Go hit that like button if you haven't already, you guys. I'd appreciate it. Help spread the word for my little channel. Goodness. Feel like we should start telling some jokes in the chat or something. This price action is not fun. There you go, Ran, watching gold. Looks like gold's wanting to pull back a little. All right, we're getting a little move up. We'll see if we actually get some continuation on this. Where can you find the profile volume add into TradingView? I have this one right here. This is the session volume profile. So it's an indicator I use. It's called SVP. So just come over here and type in session volume profile right there. And you might have to adjust the settings. I can show you mine, but I'm Central time zone, so this is the New York trading hours for Central. So adjust it to your trading time frame. But I make it for the New York session. And then I think the default is like a bright blue and pink or something like that. I changed mine to just be white and gray. And then I removed the value area lines because I didn't want all that on there. But yeah, change the settings to whatever you want. That's the indicator though. This 5-minute chart shows that we're not really going anywhere. Yeah, thanks, Deidre. I do have quite a few videos talking about volume profile and how I set it all up. Feel free to dive into those. Still just chopping around this point of control. We'll see if this is kind of maybe establishing a base and we'll get a move up from here, or it could just continue chopping. All right, Alex, thanks for joining us. Have a good one. Looking at the 15-minute, there's wicks all over the place on this thing. That's pretty ugly. Yeah, Dave, it's definitely consolidating. Getting ready for a bigger move. It's just a matter of where. Where's it headed? You could do a trend line. You could also do an anchored VWAP from the high. Either way, you can tell it's consolidating, getting ready for something. It's definitely a good day to size down if you are trading. Or not trade. That's what I'm thinking. After this position plays out, I'm probably going to step away, go get some fresh air, and enjoy my day. Because this is gross, PA. Yeah, Ram, that's possible. Could be due to having the executive orders later and Trump could say something. Also could just be no news Monday. That's kind of been the trend the last couple months. When there's no news on a Monday, it's choppy. It's not usually this bad, I would say. Later this week, though, we do have some good stuff coming up. Tuesday, we have consumer confidence and JOLTS and a potential government shutdown. If that even happens, I don't know. I feel like they threaten that a lot. Wednesday, we have employment change, PMI. Thursday, we have initial jobless claims, factory orders. And then Friday, we have lots of stuff. Non-farm payrolls, PMI, unemployment rate. Lots of stuff later in the week. So today's not the day to trade, honestly. All right. Gonna finish these accounts with a little $22 loss. No big deal. I think I'm gonna call it there, you guys. Not a great day to be trading right now. Might set some alerts at levels. I'm actually going to set an alert here at initial balance high. That way, if it gets hit, we can come back to it. And then I'll probably set an alert down here at VWAP, which I know is a moving target. So that one's a hard thing to set an alert on. But in this general vicinity, I'll set an alert, kind of see if something happens. But that's it for now, you guys. I'll be back tomorrow at the New York Open. Hopefully we get some better price action. We can take some better trades. All right, y'all. Have a good one. Take care.